Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. This one's actually been highly requested. I want to talk about whether or not too much protein is bad for your health. So, the supposed dangers of protein are a really popular subject out there. Some people are saying that a diet high in protein can reduce calcium in your bones, it can cause osteoporosis, and it can even destroy your kidneys. So what I'm going to do is take a look at whether there's any evidence out there to support these claims or not. So let us look at the importance of protein. Now, proteins are the building blocks of life, and every living cell uses them for both structural and functional purposes. So keep that in mind. All right, there's long chains of amino acids linked together like beads on a string, and then they're folded into really complex shape. Now there's 9 essential amino acids that you must get through your diet, and 12 that are non-essential, which your body can actually produce from other organic molecules. So the quality of protein source depends on its amino acid profile. The best dietary sources of protein contain an essential amino acids in ratios for humans. So, in this regard, animal proteins are better than plant proteins, given that the muscle tissues of animals are very similar to those of humans, and this makes perfect sense, right? So, the basic recommendations for protein intake are 0.36 grams of protein per pound of body weight, or 0.8 grams per kilogram daily. This translates to 56 grams of protein for a 154-pound individual. Now, this is a pretty meager intake, all right? And it may be enough to prevent downright protein deficiency, but many scientists believe, and I believe as well, that it's not sufficient to optimize health and body composition, especially for athletes and people training. People that are active or lift weights need a lot more than that, and evidence also shows that older individuals may benefit from a higher protein intake as well. Now, my general recommendation for athletes and people that are training and working out and lifting is at least 1.25 grams per pound of body weight. I take it up to 1.5 for most. That's what I recommend people, just so we're clear. I'm just giving you scientific facts on what's recommended, but it's very clear that that's not for each individual and that it's variant. Now, protein does not cause osteoporosis, okay? Some people believe that a high-protein diet can contribute to osteoporosis. Now, the theory here is that protein increases the acid load of your body, which then causes the body to take calcium out of the bones to actually neutralize the acid. That's the theory. Now, even though there are some studies showing increased short-term calcium excretion, this effect does not persist over the long term, all right? In fact, longer-term studies out there did not support this idea. There was a 9-week study, and it was replacing carbohydrates with meat, and it did not affect calcium excretion and improve some hormones known to promote bone health, okay? There was a review published in 2017, and it concluded that increased protein intake does not harm the bones. If anything, the evidence pointed to a higher protein intake improving bone health. Multiple other studies actually show that a higher protein intake is a good thing when it comes to bone health. Here, for example, it may improve your bone density and actually lower the risk of fractures, and it can also increase IGF-1 and lean mass, both which are known to promote bone health. Now, there's plenty of other potentially helpful nutritional information strategies that you can learn out there. There's articles out there that you can read about all over the place. I'm just going to giving you a few. Let's talk about protein intake and kidney damage. You hear a lot about that. Now, the kidneys are pretty remarkable organs, okay? That they filter waste compounds, excess nutrients, and liquids out of the bloodstream, and that's what produces urine. Now, some say that your kidneys need to work hard to clear the metabolites of protein from your body, leading to increased strain on your kidneys. So, adding some more protein to your diet may actually increase the workload a little, but this increase is quite insignificant compared to the immense amount of work that your kidneys are already doing. So, about 20% of the blood that your heart pumps through your body goes to your kidneys. So in an adult, the kidneys might filter around 48 gallons or 180 liters of blood every single day. High protein intake may cause harm in people with diagnosed kidney disease, but the same doesn't apply to people that have healthy kidneys. All right? Let's see. The two main risk factors for kidney failure are high blood pressure or hypertension and diabetes. So A higher protein intake actually benefits both. So in conclusion to that, there's no evidence that a high protein intake harms kidney functions in people who don't have kidney disease. All right, but on the contrary, it has plenty of health benefits and could even help you to lose weight. Eating plenty of protein is a good thing. All right, there's many health benefits associated with a high protein intake. Muscle mass. Adequate amounts of protein have a positive effect on muscle mass, and they're crucial to prevent muscle loss on a calorie-restricted diet. Energy expenditure. Studies show that protein increases energy expenditure more than any other macronutrient. Satiety. Protein keeps you full longer, so increased protein intake can lead to a decreased calorie intake as well as weight loss, and there's a lower risk of obesity. Replacing carbs and fats with protein may protect you against obesity, so a higher protein intake is beneficial for your health, especially for maintaining muscle mass and losing weight. So how much is too much? Well, the body is in a constant state of flux, and it's constantly breaking down and rebuilding its own tissues, all right? So under certain circumstances, our need for protein can increase. This includes periods of sickness or increased physical activity. Now, we need to consume enough protein for these processes to actually occur. Now, if we eat more than we need, the excess protein is going to be broken down and used for energy. So even though a relatively high protein intake is healthy and safe, eating massive amounts of protein is unnatural and it could cause harm. Now, traditional populations got most of their calories from fat or carbs, not protein. All right? Exactly how much protein is harmful is rather unclear, but it's going to vary between people. One study in really healthy and strength training men showed that eating around 1.4 grams per pound of body weight or 3 grams per kilogram every day for a year didn't have any adverse health effects at all. And even 2 grams per pound of body weight or 4.4 grams per kilogram for 2 months did not appear to cause any side effects either. Now, keep in mind that physically active people, especially strength athletes and bodybuilders, need more protein than less active individuals, as I pointed out earlier. So what's the bottom line here? At the end of the day, there's no evidence that eating protein in reasonably high amounts, causes harm in healthy people. But on the contrary, plenty of evidence suggests benefits. But like I said, please, then don't mix words here. I stress the word reasonably. Going overboard on anything is never a smart thing, and I preach that constantly. So don't mix words and understand where I'm coming from. If you have kidney disease, then you should follow your doctor's advice and limit your protein intake. But for the majority of the people, there's no reason to be concerned about the exact number of grams of protein in your diet. Now, if you follow a balanced diet that contains plenty of meat, fish, dairy, or high-protein plant foods, your protein intake should be in a safe and healthy range. So there you have it, everybody. That is, how dangerous or how not dangerous protein is for you, and try to debunk and refute any myths out there going on. So that being said, www.elitefitness.com/videos is where you can see all of my new and old videos uncut and uncensored. www.icearms.com/forums and dylan@icearms.com is where you can get me with all questions and comments. So that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli signing off.